on, everyone. Expected a loud goodie. Good morning. Come on, the ones behind. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much. A warm welcome to each and every one of you to day 2 of Asia's largest FMCG Contract Manufacturing and Private Label Expo 2023. Come on, a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The Knowledge Series brings together brand builders, D2C startups, investors, contract manufacturers, and retailers to discover, build, and enable the growth of India's contract manufacturing ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, this is MC Sherlene Fernandez, your host, and I promise you all a very enriching and eventful day ahead. We would like to thank each and every one of you present here for giving in your precious time and being a part of this expo. Let's begin with the first panel discussion for the day. The topic being understanding and exploring foreign trade bilateral opportunities for India with Asian countries. And to moderate this session, I would like to invite on stage none other than Mr. Amod Salgaonkar, Director, Chamber for Advancement of Small and Medium Businesses. A warm welcome to Amod. I would like to invite our esteemed panelist, Honorable Mr. Norman Zulkarnain Nasri. A huge round of applause for him. Trade Council Commissioner, Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation, Mumbai, Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, Government of Malaysia. Come on, once again, a huge round of applause for Norman. Thank you so much, Norman, for being here with us. Honorable Mr. Tolha Obaidi, Acting Consul General, Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia, Mumbai Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Republic of Indonesia. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. And Honorable Mr. Nugroho Priyo Pratomo, a huge round of applause for him, please. Director, Indonesian Trade Promotion Center, Chennai Ministry of Trade of the Republic of Indonesia. Once again, a warm welcome, gentlemen. Over to you, Amod.
Thanks, Sherlene. So we are here at CMPL and we must know the latest trends about the manufacturing first. So India's manufacturing export for the year 2022 has reached to almost US $418 billion and the growth of around 40% in comparison to 2021. Manufacturing sector with 17% of the nation's GDP and over 27.3 million of workforce involved in this segment, manufacturing sector plays a key significant role in the Indian economy. Through the implementation of different programs and policies, Indian government hopes to have at least 25% of output from the Indian manufacturing segment by 2025. National manufacturing policy is helping Indian manufacturing segment to run in the proper direction on the verge of Industry 4. India is focusing a lot these days also on the blue economy and particularly the emerging sector of seaweed, which maybe many of you have not heard of, but we will speak about that segment as well in today's discussion. As far as FDI is concerned, India attracted more than 171 billion US dollar of FDI inflow in India for the period of March 2020 to March 2022. Among the FDI which has been received, the top 2 investors were Singapore and USA, with a contribution of around 27% and 18% respectively. As far as the Maharashtra is concerned, the Magnetic Maharashtra 2 has received the proposals worth of 1.13 lakh crores in Maharashtra from the foreign entities. Now, everyone is aware India is sharing a quite good economic and other relations with almost most of the countries in the world, but specifically it shares quite good relation with the countries in Southeast Asia. Among that, Malaysia and Indonesia are here today with us. Welcome, sir. India is exporting almost around 50 to 100 plus commodities to Malaysia and importing around 2800 plus commodities in India. As far as Indonesia is concerned, Indonesia is one of the largest trading partner of India in the ASEAN region, ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. And we are exporting around 4,000 plus commodities to Indonesia and almost bringing 3,600 plus commodities to India. So this is just in short to give you the context about what we are sharing with these countries, and let's hear today from them how the trade and other investment opportunities are available for the Indian manufacturers and vice versa. So let's engage with them, and we will start with Mr. Norman of Martrade. So Mr. Norman, which are the most important trading commodities in India-Malaysia bilateral trade? And we all know that India and Malaysia completed 65 years of diplomatic relations in 2022. So how do you see this long relationship will better further in raising the trade potential? Over to you.
Good morning, Mr. Ahmad. Thank you very much, and also to this organizer for giving Malaysia, through this our Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation, this opportunity, for this session. Yeah, and back to your question, the most important trading communities in India and Malaysia bilateral trade. Let me begin that India has always been a very important market and Malaysia biggest trading partner among these South Asia countries. Yeah? So you can see that India is the most important country, to trade with among the South Asia countries. And India was Malaysia's 11th largest trading, largest global trading partner in 2022 last year. And among ASEAN countries, Malaysia was in their third largest trading partner. Right? You can see that this is going year to year. And this, our bilateral trade between India and Malaysia was recorded USD 19.61 billion for 2022, compared to 2021 was recorded USD 16.82 billion. Yeah? And these, of course, the most important trading commodities between Malaysia and India is palm oil and palm oil agriculture products. Yeah? And if I can mention here, this sector, or rather this product, comprise of 29% of market share, our export to India. Yeah? And Malaysia, India, if not to forget that we has established this Malaysia-India Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement, MICECA, and came to enforce on 11 July 2011. And with more than 12,000 access code, or rather these products, listed under MICECA, with majority item with 0% of import tax or import duty. Yeah? So I believe with this free trade agreement, these both companies, or rather both countries, leverage and enjoy this kind of benefit. And on top of that, to value add on this benefit, we also have shared this ASEAN-India trade agreement, with AI-TIGA. Yeah? And along with that, we also have this AI-FTA agreement. So with all these free trade agreement, all these Indian companies, we leverage on this bilateral trade. Right? And for Martrade, we would like to invite all the Indian companies, to choose Malaysia as their alternative sourcing destination for this to source this kind of product, and we can find you the reliable supplier. All right. Thank you.
That's wonderful. I hope that FTAs further improve the bi-economic relations between India and Malaysia. And of course that MIHAS which you are conducting, so that also helping a lot to many of the manufacturers at both the ends. Thanks a lot. So Mr. Tolahaha, what we know is the largest bank in India, Reserve Bank of India, and Bank of Indonesia. So both of them have signed a memorandum of understanding in 2022 to improve the mutual cooperation between two countries. What is your opinion about how this as well as other mechanisms will help for growing the trade between two nations?
Thank you, Amochi. Good morning, Namaste, Dhanyavad. As Amochi said, that Indonesia and India has a signed cooperation between the Reserve Bank of India and Bank of Indonesia. It was signed on July 16, 2022, so last year. Signed by Deputy Governor of Michael Dipabrata Patra with Indonesian Deputy Governor Dodi Budiwaluyo. I believe with the signing of this MOU will bring RBI and BI to commit to deepen relations between the two central banks and strengthen exchange of information, cooperation, and the area of control banking, including the payment system, digital innovation, and also payment services. Because now with this agreement that will provide both peoples to interact and to have bilateral international transaction online. I also believe that this MOU will benefit or will provide us mutual cooperation, understanding to develop efficient payment system through regular interaction on recent economic and financial development. Secondly, it also provides us opportunity to have a technical cooperation through training and joint seminars. Also, joint working explore on establishment of cross-border retail payment linkage. So, this signing of agreement will also help to increase our bilateral trade. For your information, in 2018, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has met President Jokowi. At the moment, we have also agreement. We call it the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. And one of the commitment is to increase our bilateral trade. It was sound like a very quite ambitious because it was in 2018 our both national leaders set up our bilateral trade to become a 50 billion US dollar by 2025. Then the challenge is coming, COVID. During in 2019, Indonesia and India bilateral trade already reached around 16 billion US dollar, but then decreased a little bit because of the COVID. Last on 2020 decreased to 2021 already rebound. And last year, 2022, we proud to inform you that our bilateral trade has reached 32.7 US billion. So
That's great.
I still believe that our set goal of 2025 by 50 billion US dollar is not impossible. Thank you.
That's quite great, significant achievement when the bilateral trade has increased to US dollar 32 billion, particularly for the last year. And I'm sure that the MOU which has been signed, so that is also reflecting for many of the mechanisms in between both the countries. Thanks a lot for that. So moving to Mr. Nugroho, which are the main activities that ITPC presently carrying out for promoting trade between two countries as you belong specifically to Ministry of Trade?
Okay. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Ahmad. ITPC is specifically trade representative. We are under coordinating the Ministry of Trade of Republic Indonesia, and we are stationed in Chennai. As we know that India and Indonesia are both growing economy countries that have a good resource, both of them. Indonesia has emerged as the second largest trading partner for India, and as I mentioned with Mr. Toha, India and Indonesia has already set the ambitious 15 billion US dollars over the next 6 years. We are at IPC Chennai is a various trade programs to engage Indian buyer and Indonesian supplier to the business. We are doing one-on-one buyers and group business matching, promotion, sellers, meeting with the direct or the using online platform like Zoom or Google. And also, we also like this participating in international exhibition to promote Indonesian product. And also we are bring the India business people to come to Indonesia also at the Trade Expo Indonesia. They are the annual event. This year will be the 38, and there's the biggest trade expo for trading and investment. And also we engage with the various chamber of commerce and business association of various cities in develop to trade between these two countries. We jointly conduct various webinars, seminars, and also we develop our relationship with various governors, bodies of India. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So what most of the Indian businessmen and even Indian consumers are aware of, that India's vegetable oil import is contributed mainly by Malaysia and Indonesia. That's the biggest bilateral trade which is happening. So what are the investment opportunities for Indian manufacturers in Malaysia and Indonesia for vegetable oil as a specific, and what might be the other opportunities for investment in other sectors in general? So maybe Mr. Norman and Mr. Tulaha can speak one by one.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmad. Yeah, this is a good question. You know, how that Malaysia and India, especially these Indian manufacturers, how to invest in Malaysia or Indonesia. And as we know, India has the potential to grow at 6.5 or 7%, and will become a USD 5 trillion economy by 2025, 2026, and USD 7 trillion by 2030. Yeah, this is all depending to this global situation. Yeah, so this is very promising growth, economic growth. Yeah, as and also can attract huge investment, foreign direct investment, and also explore business opportunity in India. Right? And for our business or investment opportunity in Malaysia, as I mentioned earlier, we have these two free trade agreements, MyKaika and AIFTA, between Malaysia and India. So these Indian companies can leverage on these to invest in Malaysia. And Malaysia, as if I can emphasize here, is the gateway to ASEAN and beyond the countries. Yeah, and we have MOU, or we have this 16 signed FTA, and with the market of 16 billion, sorry, 4.2 billion population, if you compare for these 16 FTA that we have signed. So you can, the Indian company can become Malaysia as their hub or destination, and also the gateway to ASEAN countries. Indian companies can consider that ASEAN is the third largest market in the world, with 632 million population, and beside this, India and China. So you can consider this, these elements, to invest in Malaysia and as a hub to other ASEAN countries. So we have good facilities in terms of ports and this infrastructure as well. And so now this Malaysian government through Matrade have always viewed these sustainability factors as one of the key strategic focus to enhance the global competitive in this current scenario. So the government always look into this, the demand of market that have embedded the environmental, social and governance (ECG) sector or factor, that principle of connecting the international businesses. So this is one of the elements that the Indian company can look into Malaysia to have this as an investment destination as well. All right, and of course, Malaysia has business-friendly environment policy. That means that you can have 100% equity in Malaysia when we invest in Malaysia, and you can always have the freedom to transfer the capital, the profit into your country back, and also you can employ this expatriate, if we don't have any hurdles, to have this expatriate to come to Malaysia and work as an expatriate, and we also can leverage on the recent one. India already want to have this single trade settlement in rupee. So this is one of the elements that we Indian company can look into that. So Malaysia is one of these countries that participate in this as a single trade settlement in rupees. So I think with that, I strongly encourage the Indian companies, to consider Malaysia as this investment destination, regardless of any product or sectors. So we have the infrastructures. Thank you.
Just before passing to Mr. Tolha, like how you were mentioning that Indian rupees and the currency in Malaysia, so that has been started on ground also, means the trade is happening through that particular mode, or it's yet to happen?
It's yet to happen. I personally, we look into this within this is 6 months, right? So we will see this how the growth of the performance of this single trade settlement in rupee. But I believe this is going to be a very good, policy that imposed by the government of India. So this.
Yes, that will be definitely helpful. And the other thing which you were mentioning regarding that 100% equity and other things. So it is in operational since how long? And whether there are any Indian companies have already, initiated any sort of business, or that might be the plan in coming time?
It's been quite some times already, the investment policy for the government of Malaysia. We do have Indian companies invested in Malaysia, all right? So they also enjoy all this benefit and the taxes and everything. So we now encourage more Indian companies to come and invest in Malaysia as a gateway to the other ASEAN countries. And thank you.
Yes, that's nice. So over to you, Mr. Tolha.
Thank you, Pak Ahmad. Speaking about opportunity for investment, as we understand that of the total bilateral trade, mostly the product of our bilateral trade is CPO and coal. But when we are talking about opportunity to invest, for now we have 10 Indonesian company already running in India, and more than 50, around 50 or 60 Indian companies already established in Indonesia. Output India in Indonesia more than 465 projects, varied from textile, pharmacy, coal, palm oil, IT industries. In 2022, last year, the total value of investment from India is 237 million US dollar. Latest investment is solar panel by Emits, Flatex Packaging, GM Ering Kuala Namu, and PT Alliance customer oleochemical in Semangke, North Sumatra. If we talk about investment as a government representative of Indonesia in India, we are very welcome. We are very keen to facilitate if any business entities from India want to invest, or we also facilitate if any Indonesian businessman want to invest in India. How about what is the incentive? We have also incentive such for you, maybe you already knows that the government of Indonesia has launched what we call the omnibus for creating jobs. This omnibus law will simplify many regulations to become more easier. So people will more easy to come to Indonesia to invest in the term of the length of doing the procedure and the regulation and so on. How about the incentive? We also, the law also provide us some incentive, and for now, for some sector, it is possible. Foreign direct investment 100%. Incentive also including the tax holiday, tax exemption, and some others. This situation can be very beneficial for both businessmen, either from India or from Indonesia. And we are very happy, we are very open. Later on, after this discussion, if any colleagues from India want to set up business or want to know more information about how to establish either trade, my colleague Mr. Nugroho knows well, he's from the Ministry of Trade, but also since he is stay in Chennai, while I am in Mumbai, you can either contact me, or contact Mr. Nugroho. Ahmad.
Thanks a lot. Definitely we will do that. And that's what one of the aim of, bringing all of you are here. And I'm sure that since yesterday your booth might be a lot busy with the various of trade visitors and contract manufacturers. Thanks a lot for your answers. Moving to Mr. Nugroho, see what I always know and passionate about is India is progressing in quite good way for the seafood segment. Like last year, close to $8 billion we have exported, and I'm proud to say that we are one of the largest shrimp exporter in the world with the rank of 1. So how it happens, I particularly got engaged with this blue economy and other segments. So what we are observing is seaweed sector is one of the sector which we haven't tapped very well until now, And Indonesia is doing quite a lot, particularly for the seaweed sector. So considering the present initiatives of Department of Fisheries, Government of India, whether any of the things can be done, particularly in this seaweed sector, so that we can form some sort of alliances or so in order to improve this segment better. Yeah, over to you.
Yeah, this is a very interesting discussion about the seaweed, yeah, because that's the very sexiest, one of the sexiest product in the world right now. And Indonesia right now produce more than 70% of global tropic seaweed right now. Indonesia right now ranks second for seaweed production and first in the world for red seaweed. With the latter experiencing significant for the over last decade, well, Sulawesi is the number one producing of seaweed in Indonesia. There are significant production increase in there. And that also last variability production year to year in most provinces, which concerning for sustainable livelihoods. And right now in Indonesia, the Indonesian company name is C6 company already invest in Indonesia, produce seaweed from Indonesia, and also representative office in Bali right now. This is a very good news for us, yeah. And also the company generates a biomass right now for fuel and sustainable new materials for agri-foods, wellness, supplement beauty foods, bioplastic and polymers. And Indonesia right now grow bigger volumes for seaweed for attracting some more investment from India. As Mr. Toha, we are now more transparent, more easy, and more open-wide for investment directly in Indonesia. And under the umbrella of ASEAN-India FTA, we also open the trade widely, and they are most benefit for Indonesia in India to more engage in trading business like that.
Yes, that's nice. We heard about C6 Energy, and I think they are doing wonderful job. And particularly, they have the concentration towards making this biofuel as well, if I'm not wrong, from the use of seaweeds. Yes, thanks a lot for that. So the next thing would be like here at this contract manufacturing and private label expo, what all of you think that CSMB or Chamber for Advancement of Small and Medium Businesses in collaboration with the CMPL can provide you a further support for the coming editions for enhancing the trade facilitation with manufacturers and other key players? Because I think this is just the start with the initiatives that we all have taken. And as you are experiencing the actual rush towards your booth in terms of those trade facilitation, we are quite hopeful that this can be done in much better way in coming editions. So I think everyone will be happy to understand what are your views, and you can explain one by one. Yeah, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmad. And, we would like to express our appreciation and thank you for giving us the opportunity to explore and experience this CMPL ourselves. And we believe this is a good exhibition, or rather this for this contract manufacturing and private level expo. And you will have this lot like more than 300 exhibitors, and lots of opportunities during these 2 days events. I'm sure that all these exhibitors and also the Indian companies will benefit for this kind of exhibition. From my point of view, we, as MATRADE, the National Promotion Agency for Malaysia, we can always work together with the CMPL, the organizer, and then how to promote this CMPL to Malaysia. And definitely we will assist the CMPL to arrange a meeting with these chambers, association in Malaysia. And if I can mention here, perhaps we can also have a specific business meeting, right? in future during this CMPL prior to this event, maybe perhaps one day prior to the event. So this is to encourage more participants from other countries, especially from ASEAN countries like us, to come and to explore this Indian market, right? And of course, you can have this tour or to visit, country like our country, right? And to meet with this or the relevant association, chambers, even the ministries, yeah. Because the government of Malaysia always, assist Malaysian companies, regardless whether include micro, small, or medium enterprise, especially after this pandemic, So we would like to encourage them to go global, to have this kind of experience. Then I believe this is one of the good platform for them to venture into this expo or exhibition. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Means definitely, just to give you some insights, in India, the contribution of this SME sector, particularly from this micro, small, and medium businesses, it is almost to the tune of 25 to 30% toward the entire that Indian business size. And one of the aim here is to check how that can be better through the support of the SMEs by involving the country representatives like you. So, of course, post this show, we will have those kind of collaboration of CSMB, CMPL, and particularly towards the countries, what can be done in a better way. Yeah, over to you, Tola, sir.
Yes, Pak Ahmad. Once again, I want to thanks to you to invite me, to invite Indonesian Consulate General and also ITPC to participate in this CMPL exhibition. Because when we come here, we want to make sure that we can meet and interact with all participants. So we have opportunity to discuss, to share information, and to give more information how we can make a potential cooperation in many sectors. We do understand that now India is a big economy in the world. India has potential in IT, in many sectors that can be transferred and can be cooperate with our economy in Indonesia. We also want to give opportunity for all participants to understand how is the situation if they are interested to invest in Indonesia. And we are open if they want to connect us in deeply, we want to discuss about detailed information regarding either trade, of course with the support of Pak Nugroho from the ITPC Chennai, and if they want to discuss about investment. Our country, not only in India, Indonesia, but India and Malaysia, we share the long history root in cultural. Many Indian root in Malaysia, maybe around 17%. In Sumatra, in Java, also many Indian. They are already three, fourth generation, already Indonesian, but they still manage their Indian culture. So this good relation in cultural sector not enough. We have to move from cultural, political, but we also make sure that we are good in economic relation. That's why we are coming here. Then again, we thanks. This give us opportunity, and around the trade, maybe Pak Nugroho will later will give some more additional information from me that Pak Ahmad.
Yes, sure. Thanks a lot. Over to you, Nugroho.
Uh, I think, in my opinion, this exhibition is a very great platform, yeah, to find new and wider opportunities, also for develop business, and escalate and enhance the small, the medium, also the biggest entity industries to getting more knowledge. And again, me, ITPC Chennai, and Consul Indonesia in Mumbai, thank you to CSMB, and we are glad to join this exhibition, the CUMPL 2023. We hope this exhibition can continue every year. So new platform and business opportunity also can be held in here. And also this give us to chance to promote the trade, investment, and tourism along with India and Indonesia. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone. And I want to open the floor for questions in case if any, we can take at least one question each for each of the panelists. Yeah. Can you please pass the mic to him?
Good morning, panel. My name is Swarup, and I'm from Absaville, a nutraceutical company. And I have a question. In order to enhance this business relationship between Indonesia and Malaysia and consider these countries as a gateway to the Southeast Asia, what kind of facilities we can expect as a SME if you would like to set up an office or our presence in your countries? Like we get it in Dubai, like a free zone kind or anything like that. Thank you.
Nice question. Yeah. Mr. Tulha, you want to say?
Yes, thank you. As Mr. Ahmad said that SME has played a significant role for Indian economic. And if you want to make cooperation with Indonesia, of course, for detailed information, after this we can discuss because I cannot remember all the regulation, all the laws. But we do have some facilities, especially for SMEs. In general, we are very supporting for the cooperation between SMEs because we do understand not only India but also Indonesia, SMEs play important role, especially in the hard time like COVID area or when world economic going down, we are survived because the SMEs. Back in 1997, when the economic crisis hit us very hard, we can survive because SMEs. So we are very welcome and we are very keen to discuss further after this session bilaterally so we can talk about what is a specific facility you are looking for, and we would like to know what kind of SMEs, what kind of sector you are looking for, because there is some slightly difference between sector of offer of the facilities, sir.
You want to say something, Mr. Norman?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the question. Yeah, as my colleagues mentioned, the similarity is there between Malaysia and Indonesia. We also have this policy, in terms of the SME, to have this to set up an office in Malaysia. Yeah, we always encourage these SME companies to come to Malaysia and set up the office. And we always mention or advise the companies, maybe perhaps that you have the local partner, in terms of to explore this market in Malaysia, and also how to assess, to get the raw materials, and how to have this hub for the export destination, and also can leverage into the trade agreements. Yeah. So we can have a further discussion on this and how that you can explore Malaysia as your maybe additional or branch to set up a company. And like I mentioned earlier, we always encourage companies, regardless whether SME or big companies or not. Before I forget that, if I can mention here, Malaysia is the world's largest exporters for the 25 products in the respective sectors. Yeah? Mainly like palm oil and palm oil products, wood products, electrical and electronic products, and of course, not to forget food and beverages. Yes, yes, we definitely encourage for Indian companies to come and set up a office in Malaysia. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Just to sum up and just to add something, we were discussing some time back regarding how that can be facilitated further. And through CASMB also, or for Chamber for Advancement of Small and Medium Businesses, we always conduct many of the programs within India, and also we have made some attempts wherein we have taken few of the companies from here to some outside nations, particularly for those facilitations. So perhaps what we may do is like, how you have asked, there might be the many sectors, so identification of those sectors and then discussing with them which might be the strengths of them, and to provide that further facilitation. That might be one of the area which definitely I think we are discussing, and we will come back to you as well to get more feedbacks on this. Yeah, so this is really a interesting and nice interaction. And I want to say to everyone that their booths are present over here in International Pavilion, and you are really free to get in touch with them directly and to engage with them for various of your business interaction henceforth. So thanks a lot, everyone, and I want to thank all the panelists. Thanks a lot. Over to you, Charlene.
Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for Amod and our panelists on stage? Come on, give it up for them, please. We have a small token of appreciation, so we'll have that on stage. Amod, if you could please do the honors, presenting it to them. Come on, everybody, put your hands together for them.
May I request Mr. Nilesh Lele, who is president of CASMB, just to hand over one of the... Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nilesh. There we go. Come on, everyone. Gentlemen, if you can come ahead, we can have a group photograph. Come ahead. A huge round of applause for them, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for that extremely knowledgeable and informative session, for sharing in your expertise.